So, our masters, there are 3,000 masters, I have been telling you. You may not be aware of their names. We are aware of the modern authors, best selling authors. But no master in Eastern wisdom cared to become a best selling author. Why? Because the knowledge of the real self is absolute knowledge, and the entire knowledge has been passed from one master to the other. So, last time we were talking about the Eastern wisdom says we have 8.4 million species, out of which human body has the mind that lives with the self-awareness, and it has a free intellect. Why we have a free intellect? I feel we all are humans, we all have human body. Yeah. So we say, don't say again, we are humans. So the master says that we are gifted with the human body. The first point. It's very important. We never thought to be born as a human. Did you think? Did anyone among this group think that I will be born as a human? No. So it is a gift by the existence. Now, existence also gifted the body of a mosquito and leopard and lion and elephant and bee, etc. Everyone's body is gifted. But why we use the word the human body is gifted? Because only in this human body I can have an understanding of subjective and the objective reality. I can understand that I have a stress, so I can find the solution of the stress. What about the lion? Think. It is such a unique gift and we don't use it. From there, the masters discovered and revealed what is meditation, what is mindfulness, and what is the goal of mindfulness? To know my essential nature. What is my essential nature? It is permanent peace, happiness, love, and wisdom. Does the tiger chase for permanent peace and happiness? Or mosquito? Or ant? Or elephant? They all have the body. Body is composed of the same thing: carbohydrate, protein, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen. But the way this human body is made, it can only give us a mind that can have a self-awareness, and it can have an intellect, free intellect. Do we have a free intellect? Are you sure? So tell me, how many of you live in stress? See, look at me raised. So when I live in stress, I have a free intellect. I must get out of it. You see, the way the teaching of the Eastern wisdom is so much organized, systematic. So understanding is required, knowledge is required, followed by the practice. Normally, people say in mindfulness, practice is to be done. Without understanding, if you do the practice, it will not bring any result. Animals are doing everything, all the activities without understanding. Then what is the difference between Did you understand? You can complete the sentence. Let me tell you one more thing. Can you tell me last week you might have interacted with lot of people? So last week, can you tell me with whom you interacted the most? John, you interacted with the Sophie most? Ah, you see, the John says, yes. I love you, John. Yes, you have too much of time to interact with the Sophie. No, I'm sorry. But the answer is wrong. Why the answer is wrong? We interact the most with our mind. Think. The moment you wake up, no, let me go to the restroom. Let me grab a cup of tea. So now I have lot of things to do. Complete. Many works are incomplete yesterday. No, I don't like the way he reacted. I'm not going to talk to. Your mind is talking, constantly chattering, chattering, chattering. Do you realize that? We talk to ourselves the most. And that is the problem. That is the problem. We communicate to ourselves the most 24/7, except when we fall into deep sleep. And that chattering mind never stops. So the masters of the Eastern wisdom says that this mind, even though it is gifted by the existence, is working in a wrong direction. We have to correct this. Why it is a wrong direction? How to recognize that it's a wrong direction? I think I told you before also that whenever there is a conflict, confusion, anxiety, and stress, your mind is moving in a wrong direction. Otherwise, there is no reason to have a conflict and confusion in your life. Why there is a conflict and confusion? Because I'm moving in a wrong direction. What is the wrong direction? Because I have a misunderstanding. What do you mean by misunderstanding? I have a wrong knowledge. I have a false notion. My honey doesn't love me. When your honey doesn't have a love, how he or she can love you? So here you see what the Eastern wisdom says. Happiness, love is my essential nature. I have to find the love within me. That is the goal of mindfulness. Mindfulness goal is not only to relax. You can easily relax by taking some pills. There is a 14-year-old girl with me. She has been with me for the last couple of years. So last year she told me that, I've been taking melatonin to sleep. I don't get a nice sleep. 14-year. I don't want to challenge the doctors, but doctor says, okay, take this. So this year, I think this year, about 3 months ago, she has stopped taking those. It needs a clear understanding. If the knowledge is wrong, means you have a misunderstanding, you don't have a clarity, then only the mind enters into the confusion and the conflict. So when you have a conflict and the confusion, it results into a wrong notion, false notions. I superimpose peace and happiness on a honey, and then I start fighting with the honey. Look at the beauty of the mind. What a beautiful mind we have. So Master says, peace is my essential nature. Come on, find the peace inside you. Happiness inside you. So with that gift, find out of 8.4 million species, are you not amazed? When my master told me, it did not go through my head. But after a year or so, I said, what a beautiful, how dare you mind give me this stress? Stop this. The moment the mind goes into a wrong direction, that is only I start with the blame, complaint, reaction, anxiety, duality, conflict. So simply tell the mind to stop it. Restart thinking. Let me think again. Let me reset my thinking. And once you do it, you will find 50% of the problems will go away. And the rest 50% is all about your practice. With this understanding, how many of you are still thinking of stress and anxiety and reaction, blame and complaint? Oh my goodness. Mead, you have a human body. Beautiful human body. You have a mind. So when you raised your hand, it means the mind is still chattering about the world outside, about the people, things, and relations. I have to stop this. That results into confusion and conflict. That mind stops chattering in deep sleep. And you wake up after the deep sleep, you see, oh, how calm and refreshed I am. It is not the sleep, it is the mind is kept in abeyance in deep sleep. Lion, mosquito, ant cannot keep their mind in abeyance because they are controlled and operated by the nature. I can keep my mind in abeyance even during a waking state. And that is the beginning of mindfulness. Why don't you tell your mind me that why don't you have so much of time to think and blame and complain about others? Why shouldn't I have time for myself? Only for myself. Only for myself. Sophie, yes, only for yourself. Forget about John. Why? In order, no, you can remember him again, but in order to search for yourself. John is thinking it's better to forget me. Yes, you see that. Think of this. So now see another point here. One master says beautifully that that why we act in the world, because all our actions are coming manifest from the thought, feeling, and the emotion inside the mind. No action can be done. No action is not possible if I don't have a particular thought supported by the feeling. So every action is working towards the fulfillment of a desire. And behind that desire, there is a knowledge of the desire or the object of a desire. We cannot act without the knowledge of the desire that I want to fulfill through a particular action. Entire life is nothing but an action, are founded on the three factors. What are the three factors? We say janati, knowledge, ichhati, desire, and followed by an action. If I don't know the mouse, if I don't have the knowledge, I cannot have a desire for the mouse. So, first is the knowledge. Second, that knowledge of the world, of an object is outside, it prompts me to have a desire in the mind. Knowledge in the mind, desire in the mind. So knowledge in the desire prompts me to act to fulfill that desire. Clear? Go back a little bit where I started. The mind is a chattering box, and the mind has started blaming the honey. So you have a desire, you have a knowledge of the honey, and you have a knowledge to blame the honey. I can tell me where it will lead you. Now understand the confusion. Tell me where it will lead you. Mentally, you are blaming and complaining, have a sad face. Physiologist says you need 132 groups of the muscles to frown and have a sadness. And you only need 32 groups of the muscles to smile. So you want to do a very hard task, difficult task. Wow. Wow. Difficult task. Agreed, you need only 32 groups of the muscles to smile. And 132 groups of the muscles to express the sadness and anger and frowning. But when your mind is thinking of blame, complaint, and reaction, your face is going to have a frowning. It will have a sadness. And then the honey asks you what happened. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. So nothing happened means obviously you are complaining. John, am I right? Yes, thank you. Nothing happened. No, are you angry? Oh, what do you mean? Do I look like I'm angry? What is in your mind, it comes on the face. Did you understand the example of a conflict and confusion in your mind? The mind is constantly changing. I have to stop this consciously. I have to tell my mind this blame, complaint, anxiety, reaction is not going to lead me to peace and happiness. Blame, complaint, pain, reaction is not a substitute, a replacement, or a goal to the peace. I have to stop the chattering of the mind. Am I clear? Say yes, even if you don't understand. So it means when I get rid of this confusion, this is what is known as the impurity of the mind. You know, if you study Buddhism or you study the Buddha, you study Ramakrishna, you study any master, directly or indirectly, they say this is what the impurity of the mind. As long as the mind is not pure, it is not going to help you to get rid of the stress. It will not help you to succeed in meditation. So now the next question arises, okay, blame, complaint, reaction, but why there is a blame, complaint, and reaction? Why there is an impurity of the mind? Simple answer, emotional dependence. What is emotional dependence? Attachment and attachment. We have an intense attachment. And once you have an emotional dependence, it gives rise to pride, egoism, arrogance. I've already explained you. What happened to you? Nothing happened to me. Why you are talking to me? Nothing happened to you, then why you are angry? You might have done one or the other time. And we reacted to whom we call our honey, our near and dear ones. You don't have a luxury to say to me. Are you understanding that? Do you see the cycle of emotional dependence? We become unconscious, we become habitual, we become impulsive. Who is habitual, impulsive, and instinctive? All animals remain, they live their life in impulsive, instinctive, and habitual nature. Only we have the ability to transcend that impulsive and habitual nature. Why we have that ability? We have the human body and we have the free intellect. Are you getting it? Do we use our, do we experience the, oh, thanks God, thanks existence. When I see 8.4 living species with the different shapes and the sizes, I see the mosquito is sitting in my shoulder, and I simply say it is gone. Thanks, existence, you have not given me a body of the mosquito. I can understand. I can make a choice. I have a freedom. We never think in this way, and that is why we suffer from the stress. Master says you start thinking in this way. You are okay, Sophie? Am I giving you too much burden on your head? Okay. I said something happened. It's very simple. See that. I have to think. The moment you have a stress, okay, thanks God, existence, you have given me the stress. Because I understand you have given me the human body, with the free mind, I can find the solution. Can mosquito say this? Can elephant say this? Can lion say this? I can say, and I can start the journey. Look at the beauty, the way our masters communicate with us. My friends, my friends, when there is a conflict and the confusion, I have already explained you, it results into a delusion. Delusion simply means what appears true is not true. I live in Arizona, so we see a mirage water. The water in the mirage is not true. So what appears true, water appears true is not true. My blame appears true, but it is not. Why it is not? I blame only because you do not love me, you do not care me. Why don't you care yourself? Are you not a human being? You don't love me. Why don't you find love within yourself? It is only because of you there is no peace in my life. Why don't you discover peace in you? All these statements belongs to the delusion. To remove the delusion is the goal of meditation and mindfulness. So if you think too much, and too much thinking results into conflict and confusion, then you are not living a human life. Don't be serious, we are just understanding, so you have to work on it. So there is another reason, because of these thoughts, conflict and confusion, the mind keeps on chattering. To stop the chattering of the mind, you have to show your mind a specific desire. We have millions of desires, can be grouped into only 4. There, you see the Purushartha, it is known as the Purushartha. You are a homemaker, you have to make an effort being a homemaker. Always ready. If you are a homemaker, always be ready to fulfill the responsibility and duty of a homemaker. Your effort in a right direction helps build the relationship. Simply by saying, I love you, I hate you, I react to you, I blame you, it will not work. Are you understanding that point? Find out the first goal should be to make an effort in a right direction. So I am making an effort. So I'm not only teaching, so I'm earning the money. I'm earning money to feed myself and my family. Effort should always be there. I should never be retired. Look at my beard. I'm never retired. I had the same color beard at the age of 40. So I used to travel in a bus sometime in Delhi. And so, in India, the culture is that the moment they say the old guys, they address you as an uncle. So even at the age of 40, 50-year-old used to say me uncle. I said, let me and God both bless you, my son. Don't get upset. First goal is to make an effort. In the modern world, we recognize it as a profession, job, career. Forget about how much you earn. I was teaching yesterday to a young guy who is where is that? In the New York City, Manhattan. So I asked him that this mindfulness is an $88 billion industry in the world. It's going to be $120 billion industry within 3 to 4 years. So I asked him that, can you take a pie out of it? Oh, yes, tell me. He said, you are learning meditation and your mind is still there. so, so the first goal is this, and we'll talk about the second, third, and the fourth goal again in a detailed manner. Let us start our practice. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. So first thing, the position of the body. We'll be doing the simple mindfulness practice, my friends. As the position of the body should be such that you don't feel the mind should not create any problem to you. You know what will happen? I asked you to sit, make a position in the body, and then you will start blaming me because I'm sitting in such a way. That's why I had a lot of problem. Disclaimer. So you have to find out the most comfortable position. You should be aware. You should be. So now being comfortable. I have always been saying comfort means you are settled in the comfort. Do you know the comfort? Yes, I know. You cannot give such an instruction to any living species, including your pet. You see, we are gifted with the human body and the mind. We can learn, we can change. So you see, being comfortable, move the mind on the neck joint, be there. So when I say be there means you are still paying attention to the neck joint. So when the attention span is even for 10 seconds, you start feeling the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Thoughts are coming, let the thought come and go. Let the mind continue to chatter. You take care of these instructions. Shoulder joints, be there. Yes, you're there. You feel sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Hip joint, be there. Feel sensation, comfort, and steadiness. What we are doing, you may pick up all the joints, you may pick up two or three joints. We are giving a direction to the mind that is confused. Even if the thoughts are there, let it be there. So thoughts are there. Are you your thoughts or separate from it? Am I you or you are separate from me? I'm separate from you. How do I know that? The moment I know you are here, you are separate from me. The moment I know the thought is separate from me. Now let the thought be crazy, let the thought be good, let the thought be high, any kind of the thought. You are neither attached nor detached. Don't you neither like or dislike. Let all these thoughts come as a wave and continue to move. No, but a couple of the thoughts keeps on roaming again and again, repeat itself. It is because of your emotional dependence. It is because of you. Thought do not chase you. We chase the thought. No, what should I do? Do nothing. Just watch, feel. The thought is coming, thought is going. So now recognize, we are applying the knowledge plus practice. So recognize. What to recognize means knowledge. What to know? That during the practice of meditation, you can say in your mind, I receive unwanted, unwelcome thoughts. I don't want them and still they come. First point. Second, can I control what comes from uninvited, unwelcome? No. Can I replace them? Yes. And that is where the mantra comes. So you can say how to use the mantra. You recite the mantra loudly or mentally in your head. First is knowing reciting the mantra. Second is the meaning. And third is the knowledge in it. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. You can say in your mind, Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. Now the meaning, let everyone be happy. That is the meaning. Oh, so am I blessing happiness to all? No. I'm recognizing that my nature is happiness. And I'm a living species, so everyone's nature is happiness. But what we are doing to drop and dissolve that blame, complaint, reaction game, which is happening in my mind. Second line of the mantra, Sarve Santu Niramaya. Sarve Santu Niramaya. Sarve Santu Niramaya. Let everyone be in the state of well-being. Have you not seen that the ant, elephant, all the living species is seeking their well-being? Have you seen the plants also? When you see that it has an obstacle it changes the direction. It branches, turns away. So that very intelligence is present, but they cannot make a choice. We can make a choice. Why? Human body, mind. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Say in your mind, Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Let everyone be blessed. Let the grace and the blessing fall upon each and every living species on the. That is the very nature. We are alive now because of the gift and the blessing. And we are wasting our time in stress, anxiety, duality, and conflict. See that. My friends, understanding is very important. So when you have that understanding, the mind will jump the moment you have a stress. The intellect will jump. Intellect says, how dare you have a stress? Drop it. Cognitive ability. You might have heard about modern psychology, the cognitive ability. So when I have a cognitive ability, I use it, I change my behavior, attitude, response. Ma kaschid dukha bhag bhavet. Ma kaschid dukha bhag bhavet. Ma kaschid dukha bhag bhavet. Meaning, let everyone be free from all the sufferings in the life. But why we are saying this? Because our real nature is devoid of suffering. We have superimposed the impurities on the mind. We are living in delusion. We claim we are suffering, we have a stress. So why we did it? Do you remember? We're replacing unwanted, unwelcome thoughts, and we say, okay, here is another pattern of the thought. So we have done this. We'll move further into the next step. Next step is simple. You move the mind on the head and the neck. You move the mind on each and every cell of the skin of the head and the neck. Feel, experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Move the mind on the right arm. The mind moves, means awareness moves, means as the mind moves, you feel sensation, relaxation, and stillness. And it's very easy to have that cognition. I'm again talking of cognitive ability, you see. We are understanding. With that understanding, we are practicing. So when I say move the mind on the left arm, so you feel a little more sensation, deepening of the sensation in the left arm instead of the right. Cognitive ability. So you experience the sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Move the mind on the chest and the belly. Sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Move the mind on the shoulder blades and the spine. Sensation and relaxation and stillness. Move the mind on the right leg. Sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Move the mind on the left leg. Sensation, relaxation, and stillness. The entire body, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. And our master says that move the mind within. Where the mind has become a chattering box because it's engaged completely in the world outside of people, of objects, of events, of condition, of emotional dependence, of feelings. So we say move the mind inside. So we have brought the mind to the body, consciously experiencing the sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Now look inside the second layer. That's how our master says you check the layers of your existence. Second layer is your breath. So again, do not focus on the breath, just casually look at the breath. Get the knowledge of the breath. So, what is the knowledge of the breath? The breath is moving in the body, outside the body, through the nose. So, do not change the rate and the rhythm of the breath. Just watch, observe, feel. Breath is going in. You feel the sensation inside the nose. Your breath is coming out. You feel the sensation inside the nose. No change in the rate and the rhythm of the breath. How simple. I know, I can understand. The thoughts come and the mind starts chasing the thought instead of being aware of the breath. So, who can take care of you? Your intellect. Your intellect recognizes. You see, whether you say recognition, it has a cognitive ability. So, intellect should have the cognitive ability to recognize that mind, you have started chasing the thought. Return, come back, pay attention on the breath. So simple. And the last time, in order to see that we keep our intellect alert, the moment the mind goes anywhere, we bring it back. So we use a technique which is known as the counting of the breath. The moment the breath goes in, you count in one. The moment the breath comes out, out one. No change in the rate and the rhythm of the breath, and you count up to from 1 to 25. So, how the intellect can participate? The moment the mind makes a mistake, it starts chasing a thought, you forget the counting, intellect cognizes, returns, and restart the counting from 1. I believe everything is clear. Go on counting the breath from 1 to 25. I can bet if you count 1 to 25 without any mistake, the mind is already deeper within. Is it so? Do not change the rate and the rhythm of the breath, my friend. Here, counting the breath 1 to 25, you completed. No issue. Restart. And do nothing. Remain as you are in the state of doing nothing. Why I specifically say in the end, when there is no doer inside, this mind has no option but to live within, absorb itself within. There comes the revelation of peace and happiness and the joy from within. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside the palms, and stay there for a while. So when your hands are on your eyes, you open the eyes inside the palms, you have a space in front. It gives an opportunity to know what happened. What is your experience? Bring the hands down. We'll share our experiences to progress. Bring your hands down. So we'll share our experiences. Don't get offended, I have no intention at all for any statement that I make. How are you, Sophie?
I am good. Thank you, Girish. When we started counting, my mind decided to go on its own.
Yeah.
then,
It
well, I let it be, but I brought it back at some point.
brought it back, yes. So when you bring it back, by regular practice, the mind will calm down.
Mhm.
How are you, John?
Hey, Girish, I'm fine. Um, I think I dozed off at one point, but not for long. But it was
Not for
fun.
long. Yeah. You see, it is again our cognitive ability which recognizes that I dozed off and I return back. You see that we have the free intellect. The intellect is free from all the activities, and it can make a right choice. Mind is blaming, and it takes over the intellect. So intellect says, you are right. Keep on blaming, and you suffer. I believe you got it. Even if you don't get it, say, yes, I got it. That's a journey. Charlie, how are you?
Hi, I'm well. I had this sensation of observing, just watching.
Yeah, that too is good. You see that we have about 52 different definitions of mindfulness from the teachers. One of them is to become a witness, an observer, a dispassionate observer is a meditative state. So even when we do we do the same practice, but everyone should have a different experience. And that's what I'm making. How are you, Anne?
Okay, I'm fine. I succeeded to count until 25.
Beautiful. And what is your experience?
I feel quiet.
Quite calm. That's a beautiful. So what we can do is that during the day, maybe 5 or 6 times, let me count up to 25 without making a mistake and leave it. Don't push your mind. Do it a couple of times. And then I'll tell you a couple of simple things. We normally breathe about 18 to 21 breaths in a minute. Normal, healthy individual. That is what the science and Eastern wisdom both they say. But the moment you become conscious of the breath, normally 25 breath takes 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. But now if the 25 breaths sometime will take 5 minutes, means your rate and the rhythm of the breath has dropped down per minute. That too is good. How are you, Sigrid?
I'm good. I'm good. I like the chanting.
Oh, you like the chanting?
I do. And I like the numbers because I like being able to focus the mind so it doesn't work.
Yeah. That's another expression that we are able to focus them. We don't intend to force the mind to focus. But when we are counting the awareness of the mind, and if I say so, to explain, and attention of the intellect, both go together. That becomes the focus. Beautiful. How are you, Mead?
When I joined you all, I was feeling completely overwhelmed.
Okay.
And after this process, I feel myself coming back to peace.
Coming back to peace. Follow this peace. Mind will say, follow or being overwhelmed. Don't follow it. Recognize through the intellect. You see, in every session, I give you everything. Choice is yours. Any question we still have? No question. Thank you. Be happy. We will meet again. Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Going away now. Bye-bye.